Hello everyone and welcome back to round 7 of season 6 of our F124 Haas driver career mode. Yes, we're back this weekend here for the duel in the Formula 1 crown. It's finally time for the Monaco Grand Prix. Of course, if you missed out on the video that went live on Monday from Imola, I would highly recommend going back and checking it out. We're having a pretty good run of form so far early on this season. We've had a lot of highs. We've had a couple of, disappointing races as well. But yeah, so far things are looking pretty good. Of course, we haven't sensibly got a shot at the World Championship unless things go very, very well for us. But we're bringing back Haas to where they should be inside this game. As you can see, in terms of performance, we are now above Aston Martin, tied pretty much with Red Bull, McLaren, Mercedes as well. So there's basically no R&D difference between us and pretty much all of the other big teams, apart from Ferrari, who seem to have a little bit of an upper hand over everybody else at the moment. Taking a look at our championship, George Russell still leads the way, 11 points clear of Charles Leclerc. We are still in 7th in the drivers' table there, 6th in the constructors, just behind Fernando Alonso and Ferrari respectively. Could now, with Ferrari's little bump in performance, Oscar Piastri be a threat for the championship. Crazy to think we're almost halfway through the campaign. Obviously, we've got a couple more high downforce circuits coming up before we return to the likes of Austria, Silverstone, Belgium and Italy. And then only a 3-race flyaway season come the end of the campaign as well. Of course, if you're new, please do make sure you leave a like, get yourself subscribed. We're trying to hit 140,000 subs here on the channel at the moment. But yeah, let's head then here to Monaco, ready for the most important qualifying session of the year.
Not all qualifying sessions are created equal. From the moment that a driver sits in a go-kart, they want to end up here, in the pit lane, ready and raring for qualifying at the Monaco Grand Prix.
Well, I think for the first time since I was last here in a Haas car, I don't feel particularly confident. This circuit really does not suit the design philosophy of this machine. It feels very, very understeery right towards the top end, and really just does not give me any confidence that the front wants to hunker down. Of course, we failed to finish, I believe, either race we did with Haas around this circuit early on in this game. Admittedly, both of them, I think, were quite bad luck on our part as well there. But yeah, everybody, of course, wants to try and get pole position. If you had to bet on anyone coming into the weekend, it would have to be George Russell, who has taken many a pole so far this year. But as soon as we start talking about Ferrari, Oscar Piastri looking very, very hungry as well. This is a circuit where the driver makes the difference, where if you're willing to risk it all, it can work massively for you there. It's not worked for me though. A little bit of front wing damage as we try and make our way through to back. Still just trying to keep the lap from completely unfolding underneath me. We know how important grid position is. There is a huge amount of oversteer through the Rascas up towards the line though. It is pointless. A huge error, and we are last on the grid for the Monaco Grand Prix. I don't remember the last time that happened here. Well, there we go. Max Verstappen will claim pole position then ahead of Oscar Piastri. Alonso will line up in 3rd ahead of homeboy Charles Leclerc. So 4 drivers from 4 different teams making up our top 4 in the end. Tsunoda gets himself inside the top 10. Championship leader George Russell only down in 8th place there. But I mean, look at that. Both Gasly and I really struggled, only around on the pace of the Sauber cars. Despite the front wing damage, we were only 8/10 off pole. We could have easily been 2-3 tenths away, but I have absolutely bottled it, and now we've got a lot of work to do come Sunday.
A proper road race, and in the true meaning of the word. That's how Mr. Monaco, the late great Graham Hill, once described this iconic event. The cars we drive have come a long way in the intervening half-century, but we still race on those same public roads beside the Mediterranean. There is no victory more coveted than that of the Monaco Grand Prix. The prestigious Circuit de Monaco then is not all that dissimilar today to the layout that made its debut almost a century ago. It's 2 miles and 19 corners through the streets of Monte Carlo, and although the average lap speed of around 93 miles per hour is the lowest of the season, the tiny margins for error make it the natural habitat of the safety car. It's time to see how our drivers are stacking up after yesterday's exciting qualifying session. Max Verstappen put in a fantastic lap yesterday, and he'll start from pole position. and Oscar Piastri completes the front row. As we continue through the rest of the grid today, we have Fernando Alonso, Leclerc, Stroll, Perez, Tsunoda, Russell, Hamilton, Ricciardo, Fittipaldi, Ocon, Iwasa, Behrman, Albon, Norris, Gasly, Joe, Vesti, and Firestarter. It's almost time for the lights to go out, so let's head down to the track where preparations are underway.
Okay, we might be at the back of the grid and it's not the best place to start, but keep your chin up and push hard. It's Formula One. Anything can happen.
Well, Mark is absolutely right there. Anything can happen in this sport, and, well, it usually does. I did and ah about putting some engine new components into the back of the car, but I thought if anybody else has taken penalties, any position bumped up the order could be very, very useful here. It's not happened. Everybody else is fine, so we're going to be starting last place on the grid then. We've just got to try and fight our way back through the order, and hopefully we can try and end up with a good result. Waiting on the grid for those 5 red lights. It feels very lonely back here, but it is going to be 5 red lights. And lights out, and away we go then. Not too worried about getting a particularly good start into turn 1. We probably won't be able to get a better one than the AI, so I may as well try and find some space in towards that first corner there. Zhou Guan Yu, the first one that hopefully we're going to be able to try and find a way around as Sauber and Haas at the rear of the field. Make sure we give him some room. Well, up in towards turn 2 there. He did try and go the long way around us, but we would just about fight back on the exit. Oh, a huge squirrel moment. Somehow keep out the wall. We do get a warning for a collision. Well, with Zhou Guan Yu there as well. Now I'm going to try and sit behind my teammate to make our way down through the hairpin on lap 1. Oh, a little bit of contact. Zhou not willing to give me much room through there, so we will return the favours. Look at that. Oh, Norris and Albon side by side. Gasly, it clips the inside wall, but luckily we'll get away with it. And now we've got to run, and not really a lot we can do with it. 3 wide down in towards the chicane. And you know what? We're going to pull it off. What a move. I just thought, had we started further up the order, not a chance I'd go for that, but we've got nothing to lose early on here. 3 wide down in towards the chicane. That might be the first time I've ever gone 3 wide around this circuit, but we'll come out on top. We've gained 3 spots on lap 1. You know what? I don't think I can complain about that. Oh, that gets the heart rate going to kickstart this race. Well, Verstappen and Oscar Piastri have absolutely bolted at the front of the order there. Alonso a little bit rusty on lap 1, so he's just trying to keep up with their pace now, just seeing how well he can match them. I could be tempted to box really early here, try and work the undercut. I'm just not convinced it'll be worth it just yet. Of course, the other problem we've got is safety cars, red flags. They are not uncommon here. So obviously if we did pit and either of those came out, we'll be back in square 1. Looks like Haas have got a bit more race pace over Sauber already. Fred Vesti just struggling to keep up with myself or Pierre Gasly there. Is trying to have a look around the outside of Lando Norris. Qualifying has not been his strong point so far this year. Oh, just not quite getting the run out of Portier. We need to be able to get a run. I know I've got good straight line speed in this car. The Ferrari power unit does work rather well. But yeah, just need to be a bit closer. Oh, I mean, Norris, he does feel a bit stuck behind Albon, I'm sure, early on. And probably not helpful when you've got me trying to be relentless in looking for moves then. Not quite able to do anything in towards turn 1. Lando will just about cover us off that time. But again, straight line speed of this Haas car, very, very good. And it allows us to try and just make it a bit awkward for other drivers. Another one pulled off. I'm at a P16. I see no reason, if we can keep it clean, why points shouldn't be possible today. Oh, Albon just having a bit of a front look up there, feeling the pressure nice and early in this GP. As all Norris tried to have a look back down or inside in through the hairpin. Obviously that Williams car, I wonder if in real life this year they'll try and go back towards a low downforce philosophy, because yeah, 2024 they really did struggle. The car inside the game is probably much more reminiscent of their 2023 car, and annoyingly that's making it very, very difficult for me to try and find a way around in there. It's just brushing the walls down through to back again. Oh, Albon, just see they're struggling a little bit. Can we go the long way around? Not quite on the entry, but maybe on the exit. He compromises his run again. It is all about just trying to unsettle the AI here. Just forcing them all into little errors, but making far too many of my own. This will probably be our last shot right now against Albon. Oh, just get down the inside, but again, he'll give me the room. But we just get a little bit pinched and squeezed, maybe here. I mean, we're just trying to go for it everywhere. It's a relentless attack on poor Alex Albon, and I think he decides in the end it's probably not worth fighting. Oh, too much for, clearly it is. Albon's put me in the wall. What on earth was that by Alex Albon? Clearly not a fan of my antics. We will make it through. I don't know how bad the damage is going to be, but yeah, Albon just was still on the inside there and just put me straight out in the wall. Well, that front wing damage then that Albon's given us, definitely he's come off worse in that situation. Dropping now already 5 seconds behind, and well, annoyingly for Lando, Norris and our teammate Pierre Gasly, they're just kind of stuck behind him. Whoa, he's just adamant he's not going to pit yet. I could be tipped to box pretty soon here. We're definitely going to have to go early and get a new front wing on the car. But yeah, I just wanted to make sure that we've got the gap over Albon if he decided to pit at the same time. I think we've cooked this first set of tyres as well, so that's not really very useful either. Well, I often feel inside the front F1 game I'm either the first one to blink or the last here, and oh, today I'm going to be the first, especially driving like that.
Front wing damage. This will have a major impact on performance unless you box for a new one.
Well, luckily I'd already decided we were going to dive into the pit lane at the end of this lap, so we've damaged the wing. We may as well damage it in its entirety, it would appear. As we make our way then down into the pit box here, it is going to be a slow stop. Rather annoyingly, so I think any chance of undercutting the likes of Ollie Behrman. Oh, come on, team!
It's not ideal, but let's try and put it behind us and get back into this race.
I mean, I genuinely don't think Haas have ever had a good Monaco Grand Prix, and this one is sadly going to be no different. Never had a good Grand Prix IRL. Let's just get some laps under our belt and pray for a miracle. Oh, yellows! Verstappen's gone! Max Verstappen's out of this Grand Prix, and well, I'm praying we don't get a safety car or something, otherwise I'm in a world of hurt. But yeah, Max Verstappen was leading this race, obviously won for the first time this season back in Imola last weekend, and that will be a heartbreaking end to his afternoon, just when you started to believe that his championship hopes might be back on track. And really just trying to ease this set of hard Pirelli tyres into a working window, but a 1:10.212. Of course it had to be that lap time. But there we go, new fastest lap of the day. We're going about 2 seconds a lap faster than the Saubers in front, but they are getting held up by Alex Albon. Well, I'm really hoping we start seeing the AI into the pits pretty soon.
2.6 seconds.
I still don't think we'll have done enough to undercut Ollie Behrman here, especially after the slow pit stop. But rather more worryingly, we're getting just up to the back of Zhou and Vesti again. I don't know whether... No, he's definitely, I don't think, got any damage as Fred Vesti. I think he just rather sit about a second back behind Pierre here, just because the dirty air can be so detrimental. But yeah, we're going to have to start trying to work our way back through. How am I already overtaking Zhou Guanyu for the second time in this race?
It's a good boost, but drains quickly, so use it with caution. Push.
Oh, not quite close enough there to have a look for a move on Zhou Guanyu, unless I was feeling incredibly optimistic. Might be able to get a run though off the corner. No. Oh, you just kind of don't have any faith in the air. I mean, why would you? To give you any kind of room, but it would be nice. They did around the outside. That should hopefully come off for us as we'll have the grip on the exit. Oh, Zhou, I think they're trying to be a bit optimistic in hanging on in. It's going to really compromise him, but I backed out to back.
Between yourself and the car behind.
I think it's only fair that he had to back out at Anthony Nogues, as can we try and get past the second Sauber? Down the inside we'll go. Yeah, we've got way more grip. Well, this is... Oh, definitely a track where the AI need to have some improvements for F1 25. It's all kind of fun and games, but yeah, the AI just don't do anything here. I know that's pretty much how the Monaco Grand Prix works anyway. But it would be nice if they did, you know, something, if there was the potential for them to do something in a Grand Prix like this, as past Pierre Gasly for the second time down at that chicane. Luckily that time around there wasn't a Sauber between us, but hopefully we can try and get past Norris and Albon pretty quickly as well. And then effectively that pit stop won't have cost us anything in this GP. As well, I've thought about look to the inside. I'd much rather go the outside though. Down through those final couple of corners. It's around the outside. Oh, we got yellows again. Who now is breaking down then? I think that's a V-carb that is potentially out of the Grand Prix. I believe, yep, so Wassa. So Yuma Wassa then, very early on in this GP, is going to be out of it. I'm getting a warning for a collision with Albon, but we've got to get past him before the yellow flags. So our second Honda power unit of the day gone up. I'm not even at half distance yet. Oh, there we go. Finally we're starting to see cars into the pit lane then. I'm surprised they've gone as far as they have, to be honest, but it works quite nicely for us. So we make our way at the final corner. We've got nearly a 10-lap undercut on some of these guys, as there is Hamilton.
Nice work.
So we are out then into the points of this Grand Prix. Admittedly, we're still going to be nowhere near the front, but yeah, that's really works. Oh, there we go. More cars in. More cars in. Ollie Behrman, Enzo Fittipaldi. Where are we going to be at? We're going to be up in like P6 here. We might even get the run on Perez as we try and make our way up the hill. How on earth have we done this undercut at the moment? Can we try and get a run on Checo? No, not quite. Obviously, despite his cold tyres, he's still got enough of a gap up through the top of the circuit there. But yeah, after a disastrous qualifying, well, at the moment, things are looking really good for us. Of course, the thing we have got to factor in is my tyres are going to be wrecked towards the end of the race far earlier than anybody else's are going to be. But yeah, this car really struggled for pace on Saturday afternoon. It's kind of starting to come alive on Sunday. It genuinely seems better on the harder compounded tyre here. Could we get past Perez and maybe on for another top? Well, I'm going to say it's Sergio Perez. He seems to be holding us up right now. We are definitely quicker than the Red Bull man, but it's just about trying to be quicker in the right places on this lap. I want to try and get a run out of Portier down in towards the chicane there, but it's just getting the throttle down. AI very, very good at doing so, and then we're just not quite close enough, and you get blinded by the sunlight on the exit. But I want to try and find a way around this Red Bull, the one surviving Red Bull of this GP, because I want to be able to try and attack Lance Stroll just a little way further in front there, hopping over the curbing as best as we can. But Perez making that Red Bull as wide as he can. A little bit of argy-bargy down through the final couple of corners. Can we get a run at the final turn there on Checo? Not quite able to. Again, try and open up the run through turn one there. Just skim the rear wheel on the wall as we power back up the hill. To the inside we'll go. Oh, Perez just about spots us there. We're still wheel-to-wheel, though, on the exit. Perez, in fact, still has the position for now to the outside. As we make our way up into Upper Mirabeau, we're still side by side. So we're going to get very wedged out there. A lot of contact, front wing just taking a little bit of damage. We'll get away with it. Apparently, according to the FIA, that's my fault. It's all Perez. Just nicks the wall again there. Really will cost himself on the exit. Whoa. Oh, now we picked up a little bit of front wing damage again then. Oh, no, Perez has hit another wall. What on earth is Sergio doing in this Grand Prix? He's given us plenty of damage. I think he might be out of it. And Sergio Perez there has gone and written off both our races, I think. We're definitely going to have to box for a new front wing as well. Could that be a safety car, though? Out in this Grand Prix. Oh, almost doing a Michael Schumacher. Whoa, from 2006. We have done a Michael Schumacher from 2006. Trying to get the car back going again into the pit lane. I've got no idea what even tyres we've got set to go back on the wagon there, but just we kept it clean with him. We gave him room where he needed it, and Sergio Perez hit the wall twice, and that's just really, really ruined us here. I mean, maybe we can try and fight back. Alex Albon, he's up to P14 in this Grand Prix. Come on.
Perfect job on the turn in there, mate. Looks like a nice stop time. We're happy with that one.
I mean, both Red Bulls have gone. There's one remaining V-carb in this GP, but we got 15 laps then to the end of the afternoon, and 23 seconds to Ollie Behrman, who is now in the points Well, there we go, another new fast lap of the day.
Fastest lap of the race.
Sadly, our 2:12 lap time is going to be evaporated, but we're taking 2 seconds a lap out of Behrman, who's in that top 10. My mindset at the moment is, of course, we don't, we lose nothing if I crash from here.
Our moments where we use ERS. Let's try to be consistent with it going forward, please.
So, yeah, I'm kind of there going, we may as well just try and absolutely wring the neck out of the car, and if we get back to the points, then we do. But if we crash out, then don't really lose a lot either. It's a proper Monaco Grand Prix for me back in a Haas car. I know I touched on it earlier on in this Grand Prix, but I really do think, yeah, Codemasters, EA, they need to just add a few tweaks to the way the AI work here in Monaco. They've got to make them not only more aggressive on the road about trying, go for different strategies against each other, things like that, going for overtakes, but also, they want to try and undercut each other more. They want to utilise that a bit better. The fact that still, unless an AI picks up front wing damage, they will just all pit on about one of, a 3-lap window here, unless they've got an alternate strategy, which I don't believe anybody did today. It's just, any kind of magic that Monaco has is immediately lost, because the AI don't do anything that kind of makes Monaco good in real life. So even if it was just that, if the car in front has more than like a 2-second gap to the car in front of them, just bots, try and go for an undercut, risk a 2-stop, that kind of thing. Of course, it only really works if the AI can actually overtake each other as well. But yeah, Monaco just... I'm going to say it, obviously you do get the occasional great race here, even inside this game, normally when there's changeable conditions, but it's probably even worse than it is in real life, and that's saying something. Well, I guess here's where the fun begins then for the final few laps of this Grand Prix. We have closed back in on Fittipaldi, Behrman, and I believe the remaining Honda-powered car. Oh no, sorry, it's Esteban Ocon, isn't it? Not, it was in that last V-carb car inside the series. Is it still Ricciardo? I can't quite remember, to be completely honest with you. It feels like it was so long that I took away from this game that I've forgotten about most of the driver moves. I know Yuki obviously is over at Alpine, because I basically spend every race beefing with him, it feels like. Haven't seen him at all today, though, but I think he's still running pretty well up towards the front of the order. But can we have a look for a move on Fittipaldi, then? Down the inside. Oh, come on. I mean, we got it stopped. I don't think he hit the wall either. It was not quite what I had in mind. I don't know how many overtakes we've made on the road today, but hopefully we're going to add another couple before the end of the afternoon. Down the inside. Again, a little bit aggressive there. Probably more aggressive than it should be. But we're back into the points at last. So at least I'll get the fastest lap bonus point as well. Right, come on then. 2 laps to go. The last car sensibly we can get now is Esteban Ocon here. And hopefully we're going to be able to try and pull the moves on him before this race is done and dusted. With the other two, I was a little bit worried about trying to keep it clean with Esteban. I'm not so worried, I just want to send it and get past him, to be honest. Of course, IRL, Esteban going to be a Haas driver in 2025 alongside Ollie Behrman. So yeah, we're actually sandwiched by this team's IRL lineup. Ready for the new campaign? Never would have predicted Ocon as a Haas driver, to be honest with you guys, but come on then, let's put the power down. Let's see if we can get a run in towards the chicane there. We made a move on lap 1 down here. Are we going to make a move on lap 38 as well? Oh, Esteban, he wanted to turn in, spotted us, but we are through. And up then into P9 of the Grand Prix very late on. George Russell, he has not been able to maximise the result this afternoon after a disappointing qualifying session. And well, Oscar Piastri, he has absolutely dominated this one after Verstappen's DNF. Maybe going to be, well, a little bit lucky to get himself in that position. I've bottled it! I've bottled it with 1 lap to go, because of course I have.
Keep your concentration and let's bring it home.
Come on, I need to have points. I need to finish inside the points here. Behrman, he knows he's going to be under pressure again. Just as I was talking about Oscar Piastri, things go very wrong for myself there. Try and have a look down the inside in Casino Square, as we are still ahead of the other Ferrari here. But Oscar Piastri, don't believe he's won a race for Ferrari yet inside this series, so this will be a historic and memorable win And after Charles Leclerc and I both left that team, Ferrari, it has been a time of rebuilding, of trying to get themselves back where they needed to be. Out of the final corner, Oscar Piastri is a Monaco Grand Prix winner here inside F1 24. Ferrari back on the top step of a Formula 1 podium. Can I get the run on Behrman? Oh, he tried to turn in. I had to send it. We kept it out of the wall, though, just about. Through the final couple of corners. Back into the points we go. Don't bottle it now, please, Matt. We need to hang on. I am all over the show. These tyres are absolutely cooked. Through the final corner. From last on the grid, we'll take P10.
Heading to the top step of the podium one more time. Oscar Piastri takes the victory.
Well, what a drive for them out there today. You can see the emotion, you can see what it means to them right now, and they can take this energy that they've created in this race today and move that forward for the others coming their way. Brilliant stuff.
And here we are, a team that is no stranger to the podium, taking their place on top once again. A sublime race today and a stunning win for Ferrari.
Well, there we go then. Oscar Piastri, finally a race winner in red. After a lot of heartbreak so far this campaign, but utilising that car's extra pace this weekend to walk away with the victory there. He drove Verstappen really hard early on. And I think, yeah, after the Dutchman's mechanical failure, Oscar Piastri was a worthy winner here today. Alonso comes through for P2, homeboy Charles Leclerc in third, ahead of Lance Stroll there. Yuki Tsunoda, a very good race out in his Alpine in P5 there, beating a Hamilton who got the jump on George Russell. Daniel Ricciardo, Esteban Ocon, and from the back of the field, we will get 2 points by courtesy of our P10 and our fastest lap bonus point there. Further down the order, Perez, Iwasa and Verstappen all failed to see the checkered flag, so a lot of disappointment over at the Red Bull family there, but obviously, yeah, it was only Iwasa and Verstappen that had mechanical failures. Sergio Perez, once again, he just can't drive inside this game. Championship, though, 2 points in it now between Russell and Leclerc at the top of the table, and Oscar Piastri with that win, only 14 back as well, so this season could still get very, very exciting as we get towards half distance. We are still in 7th. We've got an 11-point buffer, though, over Stroll, so that gap just starting to come down a little bit. And constructors-wise, well, we're still pretty much locked in for P6 at the moment. Yuki doing the best job he can, though, to drag that Alpine team to a respectable result as well there. McLaren with a 35-point buffer over Mercedes, and well, Ferrari, they need Fittipaldi to start pulling his finger if they want a chance at the constructors. But thank you all so much for watching. If you have enjoyed, please do make sure you leave a like, get yourself subscribed, and we'll be back when Formula 1 returns ready for the Canadian Grand Prix.